Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Happy Wednesday. It's hump day. Hope you're all having a good day. Another foggy morning this morning.
Indeed. Yeah, widespread fog, some of it very thick again. No fog advisory, but we do have that thickening fog, I think, over the next few hours. We're right in that ballpark. In fact, Hartford County Schools, 2-hour delay up there, up in Ahoskie, Murfreesboro. You'll find that fog continuing to thicken, I think, for the next hour before we start thinning it out. Similar to yesterday morning, but a little more widespread this morning. And I ended up driving up to Martin County yesterday, and that fog got really thick. I had to cut 20 miles an hour off my speed. You should do the same. Give yourself some extra time to get where you need to go and slow it down a bit so your braking distance is not as far. Something pops up all of a sudden in your roadway there, you can get stopped in time.
Yeah, so definitely be careful, especially during the commuting hours this morning. Sounds like it's going to be pretty dense in some areas, but it looks like it'll start to kind of fade in the later hours of the morning, right?
Yeah, typically when we get fog in the morning, we've got to heat the air up. The fog condenses when the air cools. Coolest time of the day right around sunrise. The air's cooling all night, hits that point where it's saturated, we call it, and the water vapor condenses. You get a fog deck building in. Once you start heating the air up, the moisture re-evaporates, goes back into vapor form. Visibility goes up, fog's out. That sunshine that comes in here late morning will bake us to a 90-91 degree high this afternoon. So I'll talk about that, talk about the building rain chances late week into the weekend, and of course our tropical systems, all eyes on the tropics. We'll dig into that as well.
All right, great. Well, speaking of Martin County, our story for this morning is actually out of Martin County in Williamston. This week is Child Passenger Safety Week. So many communities here in Eastern Carolina are putting on events to help parents with car seats, fitting them in their cars, having them, ready to go and safely secured in there for their child. So one of those events happened yesterday in Williamston, where parents were able to go do that. So let's take a look at what they had to say. What are some of the key important factors to know about your car seat for your child?
Buckling up. It's important for you and the children in the vehicle, but installing this crucial safety equipment is not always easy.
When I first had my oldest child, yes, it was difficult, and at the time we didn't have YouTube so I can Google or anything, so I had to go to the health department, thank God for the health department, and I learned how to install car seats.
And even picking one out can be challenging for parents.
Oh yes, it was definitely confusing because, you hear a lot of stuff about seats like not being safe and all that, and there's recalls on them.
But events like this one are designed to help.
We do have all of these brochures here of which seat is right for you, and it goes through each of the ones.
Many communities like Williamston are having child passenger safety events.
Very important. This is the easiest thing you can do to keep your child safe, is just make sure they're buckled in correctly and that they are in the correct seat every time.
To help inform and prepare parents and guardians about car seat safety.
So you can see expires on, here's the date.
From where to find your car seat expiration to everything in between.
A lot of them last up to 10 years, but you need to make sure it depends on the model, when they were made, when you've bought it. That's why it's really important to try not to buy car seats secondhand, because they may have gone past the expiration and you not realize it.
Yeah, so interesting factors to note, especially I didn't really realize that car seats expired like that, and buying one used really can impact the safety considerations on it. So really great. I know that there are plenty of events around Eastern Carolina this week. I know ECU Health has done many in the past at different fire stations around the county. So just a really great resource to have in case you're trying to figure out the car seat situation, because I know that there are so many all over the place, and then a lot of them you have to change with age and weight and everything, so it can get very complicated really fast.
You'd think they could simplify the whole process. You put a car seat in front of me and a Rubik's Cube, I'll take the Rubik's Cube over the car seat. And this is kind of an event, when I hear about this, I think about all the dads out there, because the moms, they do it generally more often. It seems like, I hate to make it a gender thing, but typically the guy's a little more in need of that kind of training. Certainly that was me. So yeah, these are great events.
Yeah.
It's good that they have them because it's such an important thing to do properly.
Right.
You don't want to risk your child's safety, and if you don't get that seat in there correctly, you could be doing just that.
Yep. And you can head over to our website, WITN.com. I believe that there is an event today in Kinston. I think there's another one in Greenville sometime this week, so you can check out our website for more of that information there. That's all up online.
All right, let's stick with the safety on the roads theme.
Yep.
As we talk fog this morning. First alert weather morning. Haven't had a lot of first alert weather days over the last few weeks. The first alert status, I think, will be done by 9-10 a.m. That's about when the fog should clear out. But visibilities right now, there's some zeros popping into the map. Edenton, Ahoskie, Goldsboro. When you see 0, that's generally under 1/8 of a mile. And that is thick fog. That is not fun trying to drive through that. It's a bit of a white knuckle slow drive. 1/4 of a mile, got to slow it down there as well. Kinston, Kenansville, Washington, all at 1/4 of a mile. Rocky Mount as well. So not many of you immune from the fog this morning. Mentioned Hertford County up there in Ahoskie. They're under a 2-hour delay for the kids this morning, waiting for the fog to clear before they put those school buses and kids out at the bus stops. A lot of kids at the bus stops. All right, slow down. Kids will be playing out there. They may run out in the road, and you may not see them until the last minute with that fog. Fogcast, this is model data now, showing us where the fog or when the fog will clear as we get into the mid-morning. That's 6 a.m. So let me roll that clock. We get you to 8, 9 o'clock, still foggy. 9 to 10 o'clock, fog's clearing out. That's the sun heating the air. The water, the droplets vaporizing and clearing those clouds, that low cloud deck out here. Pretty much fog is a stratus cloud down on the surface. You're walking around a cloud out there when it's foggy. And there's that stratus cloud laying in over Greenville right now. The fog thickening up, 70 degrees on the thermometer. Fog as well over in Washington, 71 degrees. Winds, nope, very calm. Another foggy shot. That's the airport in New Bern. 67 in the fog there. So yeah, most of us dealing with it, although that looks nice, doesn't it? 70 degrees, Morehead City, fog free, plenty of sunshine out there as you head out this morning. Looks good. And again, winds not moving much. All right, tropical updates. Let's get into our 2 tropical systems. These areas both showing a high probability of development now. The first one, this one I'm doing first because it has the higher chance of development. But they're neck and neck, really, folks. Let's take a look at this one first. Up to a 90% chance of development. Next 2 names, Umberto and Imelda, the H&I storms. We might get a tropical depression first, which will get coordinates. And then if the winds get up to 40, it gets a name. And again, either of these areas may be the first one to develop. So that's area number 1. Take a little shift to the east. There she goes. That tropical wave moving in towards Puerto Rico. As it heads towards the eastern Bahamas, the atmospheric conditions become more conducive to development, and that probability pops up to 80% generally into the weekend. Next 2 days, probably not, 30% as it rides north of Haiti and the Dominican Republic. So they're looking okay. So you got these 2 systems traveling along, running almost parallel to each other with those tracks over the coming days. My general feeling, I've seen this in the past, when you have 2 systems like this, usually one of them will become the more dominant system and absorb the other. Doesn't mean that'll happen here. That's one possible scenario. And some of the data I'm digging into indeed shows that happening with one low left over, one tropical low hanging out off the southeast coast. Other data shows me 2 separate systems staying independent of each other. One turning out to sea, one drifting a little closer to the coast, and maybe trying to get into the southeast or mid-Atlantic as we get into early next week. A lot of different possible scenarios here, and that means we're in wait-and-see mode right now. These kind of complex systems require a lot of time before you get a good, cohesive, unified agreement amongst the models.
Okay.
So you got a lot of different data showing you different things. You have to be careful to not get too focused on one model. If you start attaching yourself to one solution, you could get burned badly on the forecast. There's one model that shows this thing staying well off the coast, turning out to sea with no impacts. I'm not going to forecast that because I've got
Right.
another couple of models that want to bring it into the coast, bring a lot of rain, some wind, and the other impacts. So until we get better agreement amongst the models, we kind of advise a close watch and wait until we get a good forecast. So that's where we're at with that. And every new bit of data we get in, we'll kind of fine tune that forecast for you. Hurricane Gabrielle, racing out to sea. Winds are down to 115. Rolling through the Atlantic. And now the model's trying to bring what's left of that system into Portugal early next week. As a remnant low there, they could see some rain out of what once was Gabrielle by that time, back into Europe. All right, let's come back home. Headlines for the day today. We talked fog. Once that fog does clear out, generally a sunny sky. Even the clouds I have on that background are probably too many. That sun heats us to 90, south wind at about 5 to 10. That's a muggy south wind, so that 90 will feel like 95 later today. Satellite radar looks pretty good. No rain out there. That rain off the coast is drifted further away. That arrow I put on there, that's where the rain was 2 hours ago. I need to shift that arrow, more of a eastward push on that rain. Air temp is running nearly 10 degrees warmer than yesterday for most of us. And that means it's close to 70 walking out of your home. Forget about long sleeves until next week. Maybe a big cool down the middle of next week. Winds, nope, thus the fog. Air temp near 90 later today under that mostly sunny sky later this afternoon. Again, you can see that wind at 5 to 10. I want to show you the model data real quick, then we'll jump to the 8-day. So there's this morning into the afternoon. The highs generally again near 90 into the evening hours. Looks good. A stray raindrop on the coast tomorrow afternoon. I got to catch up on that clock. Mostly sunny though. Generally another hot day tomorrow. Highs will hit about a 90, 91. Tomorrow for the football game, we should be good in terms of rain. Going to be hot. I think tailgating again 90, 91. Heat index maybe 97. But you can see that map stays generally dry for the football game. Doesn't mean we might not get a stray shower maybe towards the end of the game. And then Friday afternoon, quiet in the morning, maybe a stray shower in the afternoon hours. There's our rain coming in post lunchtime, afternoon, evening, and it looks like that'll continue on Saturday. Rain loiters around, so I put a 70% there for Friday and Saturday. Ahead of the rain again, 90, 91 today and tomorrow. And then we get into late weekend. The frontal boundary rain starts to dissipate, but then it's watching the tropics. How close to the coast does it get? How strong does the storm get? Does it come here at all? Don't know yet, but let's put a 30-40% chance as we await more data. Highs low 80s, and then look at that dip in numbers to the mid 70s next week. That's a nice cool down. It's that cool down, Gigi, and the associated winds with the cool down, steering winds that'll kick whatever we have tropics-wise going on. We'll start to shift it out to sea in all likelihood Tuesday and Wednesday.
Okay.
We need to keep it offshore until that happens. That's
Right.
the key here.
Okay.
Yep.
So we're talking about these rain chances. We do have them Friday, Saturday. It's a little bit of a bummer that they're happening on the weekends.
Yep.
Sounds like we may need some backup plans, any indoor options, just in case, the
Both
rain kind of
days.
sticks around both days. Okay.
Yeah, if you're working outside Friday, you're going to have some work stoppages as we get into the afternoon. In all likelihood, things could still change, but it certainly looks like post 2 p.m. Friday, trending pretty wet, and then in and out of some showers Saturday as well. So yeah, both days, whether you're working or outside playing in some capacity, be ready for those rain chances. A rumble of thunder or two, severe threat looks pretty low.
Okay, good.
Not zero, but it's
Okay.
an outside chance for maybe a wind gust over 50 on Friday. I think that chance will be near zero on Saturday.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Jim,
Yep.
and thank you everyone for joining us this morning. Just want to say hello and good morning to Susan from Stumpy Point. Hope you're having a good day as well. And then good morning to George. Thanks for being with us here this morning. We're going to be back again at 8 a.m. for another news and weather update, so hope you can join us then.
Right.
This hour of the WITN First Alert Desk is sponsored by Toyota of Goldsboro.